What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me today. We're going to talk about my favorite position, the most important position in all of fantasy, and that's the running back position. You know, the whole three-headed monster. You read the book already, I hope. But my favorite running back in the entire league is Saquon Barkely. I mean, you can make a case for anybody in the top four, although I would be worried about Zeke right now. Not like major worried. More worried about Melvin, but I do think they'll both eventually sign. However, they're not my favorite running backs based on value, based on everything that's going on. Love Saquon. Everybody's scared about the Giants offense. Well, guess what? They weren't very good last year. They had a horrible offensive line that, only got at least a little bit better with Kevin Zeitler coming over from the Browns. And Barkley's Barkley, it's his second year. He's more familiar with the offense. They didn't play without OBJ for a lot of games last year, and he's still balled out, still averaged over 20. He's as safe can get, and his upside is ridiculous. So I have no problem with anyone that wants to take Barkley first. Him and CMC, I struggle every day which one I want to take first in PPR. CMC has a little more value there. I think Barkley is more of a slam dunk and standard, but like I said, can't go wrong with either or. Kamara is another running back you can consider at the one pick. The thing I like most about Kamara is I actually think he has less upside than Barkley and CMC, but he's about as safe can be. He never gets injured. They use him just right. He racks up a bunch of points on reception, and he has 100 reception upside. So why do I think he doesn't have as much upside as the others? Because he rushed for 14 touchdowns. A lot of those came in the first 4 weeks when Ingram was out for PEDs. So I do expect his rushing total to come down quite a bit, maybe like 8 or 9, but then he'll make up for it with the receptions and yards. So he'll be on par with what he had last year. But I think some of these other guys like David Montgomery, Nick Chubb, Dalvin Cook, Kerryon Johnson, any one of these running backs, as long as they stay healthy, can sneak up into the top 5. So I love Kamara and his safety, but I do think it could be possible for him to be the most likely of the running backs of the top 4 to finish outside the top 5. After them, I think there's a little bit of a drop-off. There's a lot of guys I like, Joe Mixon being one of them. He seems to be on that, trending up, especially now because, well, first of all, he improved from one year to the next. Last year, he was top 10 in rushing despite missing 2 games, averaged like 4.9 yards a carry, had a bad O-line then, has a bad O-line this year, already down 2 starters, including first-round pick Jonah Williams. So that's not a good start, but they do have Zach Taylor coming in from, the whole McVay family tree. So if they use Mixon like Gurley, there's a lot to like. Especially since they will be in some shootouts. He is a pass-catching back, so that's not going to be a problem. Hopefully, AJ Green comes back sooner than later. They do have some weapons, so I'm not worried about them, being able to score. It's their defense. So Joe Mixon, though, love him. You could get him at the end of the first, top of the second. Tremendous value for somebody that has top, even 1 overall potential. Then we got Nick Chubb. A lot of people are down on him. I'm not one of them. Look, Kareem Hunt suspended the first 8 games. They have a bye week 7, so he can't come back till at least week 10. We'll probably need at least another week or 2 to get back in game shape. He cannot practice with the team until he gets reinstated by the NFL. I've never seen a star running back, which I think Chubb will be. The reason I think that is just look at last year when he became the starter in week 7. He finished as a top 6 running back, almost had 1,000 yards rushing, and he faced the 4th most stacked boxes in the league. They're not going to be able to do that any longer now that OBJ's there. Baker's a year older, so I really love Chubb. He's my favorite to lead the NFL in rushing touchdowns, so I can't imagine him playing at the level that I think he's going to play, and all of a sudden Hunt comes in and he just vanishes. No. If Hunt comes back, he'll have a role for sure, but every team has multiple running backs. It's not like it was back in the day where, somebody had like 99% of the snaps like CMC did last year. So don't worry about Chubb. In the second round, some people are picking him 20th or later. That's crazy. He's a must grab. Another player I like is Dalvin Cook. He's another one that's slipping due to injuries. I'm a little more concerned about him since he did battle injuries in college. You could call it what you want. If it's a fluke, some guys just seem to have that bad luck. So it is a bit of concern. But if you grab him and then you grab Alexander Madison later on, if you have to reach a little bit, I really like the system he's in. Kevin Stefanski, you saw last year when he became the coordinator, they want to run the ball. They bring Gary Kubiak over into the organization. He's going to run the zone blocking scheme. Plus he's a pass catcher. So Cook is another one with top 5 upside as long as he can stay healthy and you can protect yourself by grabbing Madison. You're going to be in a really, really good place if you get him in the second round. You could pair him up with a top receiver. Another guy like Montgomery, those who are scared about him being a rookie, or Tariq Cohen or Mike Davis, guys, again, every backfield has more than one running back, but there's still the guy. And there's still guys who could be effective with less touches and be efficient. And offense plays a lot into that. When you have an offense that's going to be potent like the Bears with Nagy calling plays and Nagy using the running back as a pass catcher, look what he's done. The last 2 years, in 2017, Kareem Hunt, as a rookie, finished 7th in PPR. Last year, Tariq Cohen, a little scat back, had 71 receptions and finished RB11. So to tell me that David Montgomery will be anything less than a top 10 running back when I think he could be better than both, it's just fool's gold, God. He will be a top 10, probably a top 5 running back. Him, Cook, Montgomery, it's a toss-up for me. I like DJ, but I think he's going too rich. I think these other guys have more upside. Since DJ, say what you want, blame it on the offense, blame it on the injury, but he's 27 years old and he hasn't done it since 2015, 2016, whatever it was. I like guys that are ascending, and we don't know if DJ could be that guy without Bruce Arians. The same way we don't know if Bell could be the same running back without all that volume and that Pittsburgh offensive line, which is another guy I'm low on this year, but that's a totally different video. Anyway, staying on with the topic, another guy, these two guys are like, I don't know, they go hand in hand every day. It's like CMC or Barkley. Aaron Jones and Kerryon Johnson, they're the exact same player, I swear they are. Two ultimately talented running backs, the perfect system. You got Matt LaFleur in Green Bay running the zone scheme from the Shanahan tree everywhere this guy goes. When he was with the Redskins, they were top 5 in rushing. When he was with Atlanta, Freeman and Coleman, helped produce a top 5 running back or a top 5 rushing offense. Tennessee last year, Deion Lewis had 59 receptions as a part-time back. They were also top 10 in rushing, as were the Rams when he was there. So rushing is his thing, and using the running back as a pass catcher, which I heard Jones has really been working on this year, has me really excited. Just like Kerryon, the only thing you got to worry about him is injuries. 2 years in a row, that MCL, it is a concern, but if you could get him in the 3rd round, he does have that RB1, even top 5 upside. I've been saying this a lot, but there's always, players that leave the top 5 and enter the top 5. So last year, Bell and DJ were expected to be top 5. They weren't. Give whatever excuse you want. Bell didn't play. DJ, had a bad offense, but the case is the case. So Melvin Gordon could definitely be that guy this year, since he's already holding out. That's never a good thing. Hopefully he's not this year's Bell. So all these guys have top 5 potential. It's just going to matter with health. Kerryon Johnson last year was an RB14 before he got injured, despite being in a crowded backfield, had a slow start. When they gave him the touches, once Theo Reddick got injured and they realized LeGarrette Blount ain't the one, he tore it up. And there's nothing that Kerryon cannot do because he's big, he's physical, he's fast, he's a pass catcher. And again, the perfect system. Cook, Aaron Jones, and Kerryon Johnson are with offensive coordinators who love to use the running back. Darrell Bevell, he has a history with AP and Marshawn Lynch. So Kerryon Johnson, like I said, if you could get him in the 3rd round, if you could, if he's your RB2, man, you're in good shoes because, again, he has top 5 potential. Last but not least, another running back that people are down on, I don't know why. All he did was tear it up his rookie year as an undrafted free agent, and his situation only got better. I'm talking about Phillip Lindsay. Yes, he had the wrist injury. He's over that. He got Rich Scangarillo. Talking about offensive coordinators that do their thing. Rich Scangarillo, even though he has limited experience as an offensive coordinator, he comes from that Shanahan family tree as well. Over in San Francisco, Kyle Shanahan, he was the quarterback's coach, did wonders for guys like Jimmy G and, man, I can't even think of his name right now, but y'all know what Nick Mullins, yeah, that's who I'm talking about. So he did his thing, and what got me excited when Denver made this hire is they're going to be running the zone blocking scheme. Another theme you hear me repeat because it's so efficient when it comes to running backs. Look what the Niners did last year. Any running back they plugged in averaged over 5 yards a carry. Breida was top 5. Even Mostert, they're like 5th running back, averaged 7.7 yards per carry, which is ridiculous because of the system. And they use their running backs in the passing game. So why wouldn't you be excited with someone that has 4.37 speed like Lindsay? They already said they're going to get him out in space. They already said they're going to use him as a pass catcher. Guys, players like Lindsay, they don't need a lot of touches. They're going to get those chunk plays, whether it's a big run. They got the big boys up front, Juwan James. They also got Dalton Risner, who they signed. So there's going to be some holes. Love Lindsay, especially if you could get him in the 4th, 5th round, since a lot of people have this idea that all of a sudden this backfield is crowded. Remember, every team uses multiple backs. Sure, will they sprinkle in Theo Reddick here and there? I'm sure they will. Royce Freeman will probably be the goal line, absolutely. But Lindsay is their guy. He's still going to get 15 to 20 touches, and that'll be enough. So those are my favorite running backs, guys. I think well, those are my favorite running backs, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below who are your favorite running backs for this 2019 NFL season.